What's up, everybody? This is your boy Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I will be doing a comparison video between two Lattafa fragrances. Now, I'm going to distinct and compare these two fragrances all the way down the best way that I can. And these two particular fragrances is hyped up all over the place, from TikTok to YouTube, from everywhere, on Instagram, everywhere. Everybody knows what these fragrances are, but here is my take on these fragrances and how they are compared between the two. So, I'm talking too much. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, full presentation time. On the front of the bottle, as you already have seen, you got the name of the house and the fragrance. Nothing on the side of the bottle, nothing on the back or anything like that. So on the top of the bottle, you got the name of the house right there. At the bottom right here, you just got the sticker with the logo with the name of the house and the size and concentration of the fragrance. Actually, it's not the size, it's just the concentration of the fragrance. Excuse me. Here is what the atomizer looks like. No leakage or anything like that, so that is a beautiful sign. Nothing too much going on the inside of the cap. The atomizer, though, is wonderful. Okay, here's the box. You got the name of the house and the name of the fragrance on the front of the box. You got the holographic sticker right here. You got the name of the fragrance as well as the size and concentration on the back, as well as the ingredients and some other additional information. Nothing on this side. Let's see. Right here on the top, you got the name of the house with the logo with it. Once you open it up like this, wow, the fragrance sits just like that. And it has like a little plastic mirror in the back. I like how the presentation of the box looks. They put a lot of good work into it. I do give an A+ on that. And down here, you got the size and concentration down there as well as the logo. When you take the fragrance out completely, you got the name of the fragrance and the name of the house right there on this highly reflective little mirror panel right here. So yeah, I love the presentation of this. They did an excellent job. Alrighty, so up top, what do I get out of this fragrance? I'll tell you what I got out of this beautiful fragrance. This fragrance opens up very, very warm, spicy, gourmety with a nice amount of somewhat of a boozy accord. It's sweet, has a little bit of a fruitiness. It's fresh, spicy at the same time. Very smooth and rich, dope, elegant fragrance that is mass appealing and crowd pleasing, and it can garner you a unsolicited amount of compliments if that's what you're looking for. This does the job very well in that department. So in the top, you get cinnamon, nutmeg, and bergamot. The cinnamon gives it like a soft, powdery yet fizzy type of a spice. As you get into that nutmeg, the nutmeg is also spicy at the same time, but the spiciness in the opening is not really aggressive. It's not gonna make you sneeze. It's not too harsh or anything like that. It's very smooth and tamed down in the opening, and that's one of my favorite parts of this fragrance is that opening. You know, it's powdery, fresh, spicy, you know, fresh, sweet. The freshness comes from that bergamot, giving it a little bit of a limey type of a zesty freshness, you know, with that nutmeg and that cinnamon. And the power that it has in the opening, once you spray this on with those three notes, is amazing. Amazingly well put to my nose, of course. But once you get into the middle notes, you get some dates, praline, some tuberose, and some mahonial. Now, when it comes to the mahonial, if I pronounce that right, you know, that is like somewhat of a soft molecule floral note that's masculine, which I don't get too much of because, you know, the floralness in this fragrance is like, you know, bright and kind of light, as well as, you know, kind of distinct. You can't really pick it up, but it's a small hint of it once you dig your nose down into it. But it's just overpowered with a lot of those other hefty notes that's inside of this fragrance. When it comes to that tuberose, that mahonial, and that bergamot, this is what really brightens the fragrance up a little bit. You know, when you first spray it on, you know, from the top into the mid, it is kind of bright, but you still are met with that heavy dose of, like, you know, sweet spice As it persists on your skin, you know, the sweetness gets a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper, with the light floralness and the fruitiness from the bergamot gets a little bit more lighter and lighter and lighter. So that gourmandiness and that booziness that I get out of this fragrance really creeps in a lot as the fragrance persists on your skin. Once the dates and the praline start to show itself quite nicely, the dates is what overpowers the mid notes. You know, from the top into the mid, the dates comes in really hard. Fruity is sugary and gourmand as heck when it comes to those dates. You know, the praline is like some type of like a chocolatey type of balsamic note that makes it gourmand as well at the same time. But it's really those dates that's like fruity and sugary. That's very, very sweet, which I highly recommend. Do not overspray with this because my goodness, this is powerful. The main players of the base is that vanilla, myrrh, and benzoin. Very balsamic, very warm and rich and smooth, that those notes really mellows this fragrance out a lot. And it's not bad. I'm not saying that in a bad way or anything like that. It really tips this fragrance off in a very, very good way. You know, it calms down all that sugariness from the dates and stuff like that, which gives it like a little bit more of a synthetic type of accord. But to me, on my skin, those dates are being tamed down a lot when it comes to that vanilla, that myrrh, and benzoin. I really don't get any amberwood, akigala wood, or anything like that. The main players to my nose that I smell is like, you know, the benzoin, myrrh, and the vanilla. You know, the tonka bean gives it like a dry, like somewhat fruitiness and stuff like that. That's sweet. You know, I do get that a little bit, but the main players to my nose is that benzoin, myrrh, and that vanilla. So overall, you get this great sugary gourmand type of a booziness of a fragrance that's fresh in the opening and tames down with this awesome, you know, sugary, sweet, smooth vanilla scent that's also boozy at the same time. Now, if you are asking me and you have a question in the back of your mind, how does this smell like this? It is insanely close. This one is a little bit more on the synthetic side, of course, but it is insanely close to this one. I would definitely say pick this one up due to the 99.9% close to this one, as well as the price. Now, I think I didn't mention the price. Did I mention the price? If I didn't mention the price, here's the price. I got this for $20 and some change. I think it was like $25, if I remember correctly. All right, so when it comes to the performance was out of this world, strong and hellacious. Bayou overspraying, that is. And I highly recommend, which I said before, do not overspray with this, because if you want to be nauseating, if you want to offend people, if you want to let people run out of the room and stuff like that, make people run out of the room and stuff like that, or give you a negative comment saying you sprayed too much, by all means, go ahead. But I'm advising you not to, because in order to enjoy this fragrance for what it is, from the top all the way to the base notes and stuff like that, you got to spray gently. You know, I will go with at least like 5 sprays with this. Nowhere near like 7, 8, 9 or beyond. No. I will say at least 5 sprays, because this stuff is strong. And if you spray too much, it can create a very disturbing, you know, time for you to enjoy because of how strong it is. But I'm talking too much. So the longevity was a solid 8 to 9 plus hours based off over spraying. And I highly recommend that you don't. Once again, 8 to 9 plus hours. Now, it became a skin scent after like the 5th to 6th hour mark. The projection was great within like an hour to an hour and a half, set close to the skin, not too close, you know, like a moderate scent bubble with a great steady push of projection to the like the 5th to 6th hour mark. Then it came close to the skin and you still be able to smell it and pick it up quite nicely. You know, it didn't fade away at all. You know, it faded away like after like 8 to 9 hours, but you know, even then it was still pushing, you know, softly. This is a great nuclear performing fragrance. You will not have any issues with the performance from this fragrance. If you do, I'm sorry, and I don't know what to tell you. When it comes to the seasons with this one, you already know this is going to be a fall and winter time scent. Spring, you probably can get away with it. You probably can get away with it if it's like cool, moderate temperature and stuff like that, not too warm, but definitely not the summertime. Definitely not the summertime. If you want to wear it in the summertime, that's up to you. But mind you that it is not going to mesh well with that heat, and it's going to either stink, be too cloying and stuffy, and it's just going to be a hot heaping mess. Don't do it. But if you want to, that's up to you. But specifically, I'm talking too much. Fall and wintertime. When it comes to the age group, with this one, I feel like it has a nice little bit of versatility to it. You know, it doesn't have that mature masculinity, you know, datedness or anything like that, you know, for older gentlemen to appreciate. But, you know, if you're an older gentleman and you like it, you can wear it. It doesn't matter. Forget the ages. If you like it, wear it. Don't matter. But in my specific opinion, as always, this one leads into, like, you know, the younger guys, you know, the youthful crowds, you know, middle age to like youthful to middle age, you know, between those age brackets. But yeah, I'm talking too much again. Youthful crowds to middle age on up. Okay, moving right along to the other one. We have Khamrah Qahwa. Same style bottle, it's just that the coloration is different. And the notes are similar, but there's something unique about this one versus the other one, and I will get to that in a minute. Nothing different, you know, same thing. Got the name of the house at the top with the cap right here. Take the cap off. Nothing on the inside. The atomizer, no leakage or anything like that. Same as the bottom. Atomizer, wonderful as well. Here is the box. Same thing, same exact box. Sits in just like that. You know, you dig it. This fragrance here is very similar to the first one, Khamrah. It's very similar, but it shares a unique note compared to the other one of coffee in the base of it. You know, they do share similar notes of cinnamon and praline, as well as vanilla, as well as tonka bean, benzoin, and that's it. And some white floral notes. So the only thing that's different is that coffee note. That's pretty much it. The coffee note is what takes it into a completely different direction of like a roasted, dark, you know, gourmety spectrum on the side of the spectrum. You know, but it's still staying true to that particular DNA of Khamrah, but it has a little bit of twist with that coffee note. Okay, the notes is in the top: cinnamon, cardamom, and ginger. You know, you still get that soft powdery spice, yet warm and sweet, you know, nuance when it comes to that cinnamon, as well as that cardamom giving like a dry fruitiness. Now the ginger is what makes it a little bit more of a twist different from the opening in the top of Khamrah, the original. The ginger is like a fruity yet zesty spice to it that's fresh and uplifting. You know, the other one, to my nose, is a little bit more fresher. This one is a little bit more darker, but it still has a small hint of freshness when it comes to that ginger, which is nice and sparkly. It's nice and sparkly when it comes to that opening. Nothing really changes in the mid notes because praline, candy fruits, and white florals is basically the same with the original Khamrah. You know, dates gives it like that sugary fruitiness, but it really isn't different from candy fruits. I mean, I don't even know what candy fruits is. You know, candy, fruity, sugary, fruit, basically the same thing. But praline, you know, chocolatey, warm, and sweet. You know, white florals, you know, bright, gives a little bit more brightness and floral, masculine florals at the same time. You know, pretty much the same, but the only difference, like I said before, is that coffee note in the base with that vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and that musk. A little bit of an aromatic touch when it comes to that musk. You know, a little bit more dry and a little bit more dense in the dry down. But the main player of this fragrance overall is that coffee. Everything that you like about Khamrah with the sweetness, anything that you get out of it that you like, this one right here, in my opinion, masters it and adds a cherry on top with that coffee note. The coffee note in here is just so beautiful to me. You know, the coffee is the best part of this fragrance. And to be honest with you, at first spray, You do get like that, you know, that fresh zestiness with that ginger and all those other chords, but immediately to my nose you get that coffee note. It's just that when it dries down completely, that coffee note shines a lot brighter as it just persists on your skin. To me, if you were to find this one first, I would get this one, then Khamrah. But if you want me to give you my honest opinion, like which one to get between the two, I would say get this one because of that coffee note. It is beautiful. When it comes to the longevity on my skin, it was, again, I oversprayed with this one and I got a nice solid 8 to 9 hours plus. Now, it didn't become a skin set until like, you know, the 6-hour mark, you know, while testing it. You know, the projection was fantastic within like, you know, within like the first hour to an hour and a half set close to the skin, giving the total longevity of 8 to 9 hours, which is a stunning smell of a fragrance with a stunning longevity and projection. For $35 and some change, this is a steal. Now with the age group, when it comes to the age groups, you know, this one is a little bit more mature, a tiny bit of mature. It still shares that playful immaturity of sweetness like the other one, but this one, as it dries down, that roasted coffee note really does give it a little bit more masculinity and a little bit more of a grown man type of a style of a fragrance when it comes to that musk and that coffee note. Seasons, just like the other one. Fall, wintertime. No summertime, probably springtime if it's cool. Other than that, no summertime, primarily fall and wintertime with this one as well as the other one. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say get this one first. Qahwa. This one right here is great, don't get me wrong, but this one, for some reason, this one is what appeals to me a lot better than this one because of that coffee note. If it wasn't for that coffee note, this would be redundant and a waste of time. But that coffee note is what saves this fragrance so much, with a great added twist to the original DNA of this one. So if you can find this first, hopefully you can find this first, get this one and get that one. Like I stated before, if you want me to pick between the two, if you want my opinion, I would say roll with this one only. Because man, I just love how this one smells with that coffee note. But this one is a killer too. Very good pickups. So that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed. Have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.